a gentleman who played at Oklahoma for college, who played in the NFL for the Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, Los Angeles Rams, Atlanta Falcons, and Cleveland Browns, a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, a guy who was out shoveling all day yesterday, Tommy McDonald. How you doing, Tommy?
You must have been a little angel watching me or something like that. That was terrific. Yeah, I tell you, I'm just doing just great, thanks to the good Lord.
What are you doing shoveling?
I'm shoveling snow.
Well, I didn't think it was sand.
How
much snow did you have? Where are you?
Oh, boy. Well, I'm in right outside of Philadelphia. I'm in King of Prussia and
Sure.
everything. And so we have had a big snowstorm here. We had like 8 inches of snow. And I'm ready to move back to Albuquerque, New Mexico, where I'm originally from. This is too much. This white stuff has got to go.
Tommy, David Spada, we've talked several times over the last week. I love talking to you.
Yeah.
You played for the Cowboys, Rams, again, like I said, Falcons, Browns, and Eagles. You played with some of the greatest defensive ends of all time, Bob Lilly, Merlin Olsen.
Yeah.
Who was the best? We've gone back and forth about this. I've heard Gino Marchetti, who of the Colts was the best. I've heard Bob Lilly. I've heard Deacon Jones. Deacon said he was the best. We had Bruce Smith on. He said he was the best. Who do you think was the best defensive end of all time? And you played with several of them.
Hey, you know what? I'll take any of them. I don't care who's the best. I'll take any of them.
Tommy, this is Elliott Harris. How are you?
I am absolutely fantastic. Thanks the good Lord.
Okay. Now, you played with some pretty good quarterbacks. Who was your favorite one you had throwing the ball to you? If you had a favorite?
No. Van Brocklin, Sonny Jurgensen, Roman Gabriel. Yeah, gosh, I was blessed, absolutely blessed by him. I've just been in the right spot at the right time, thanks to the good Lord. He just let me be in the right place at the right time, because God is my quarterback.
What made you successful?
Every day's game day in life, and I'm on God's team.
What made you successful? Were you a speed receiver, a possession receiver, or did you do everything?
Well, I would say a little bit of a combination of both, because God gave me good speed, He gave me good hands and everything like that, because my dad was an electrician, and my dad used to have me put in outlets and things like that, and I used to squeeze clay to make my fingers strong, and it really strengthened them up in there, and I was really lucky because that made my fingers and hands really strong, because Sports Illustrated put me on the front cover of their Sports Illustrated in 1962 of having football's best hands, and I'm only 5'9".
Yeah, they wouldn't find you in today's NFL. You're so small.
That's exactly right. They probably say, "Go away! You're too small. You're too small, Tommy."
But I remember you back in the days, and as a receiver with the Eagles. I'm old enough to remember that. And the image I have of Tommy McDonald is always being open. It didn't seem like there was a defensive back within, say, 5 yards of you on any route that you ran.
That's about right. It was like 1 or 2 steps behind me, or 3 steps, something like that. But if there's one good thing, I was born on a farm in Roy, New Mexico.
Old McDonald had a farm?
Yeah. and my dad studied electricity through books and stuff like that, and we moved from Roy, New Mexico, over to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and he opened up a McDonald Electric office over there. Well, they had a newspaper over there and a television sets and all that sort of jazz. So if there's another thing that God gave me was speed, because I won the 100-yard dash and the 220-yard dash when I was in high school. And Oklahoma, I got a scholarship to Oklahoma University, because I went to SMU, looked their school over, Texas, I looked their school over, Texas Christian, I looked their school over, and I decided on Oklahoma because Bud Wilkinson said something to me that really hit home with me. Now, Tom, if you're just coming here for football, I don't want you to come. I want you to come here to get an education, because education's going to last you for the rest of your life. Football's only going to last you for 4 years. And I got to thinking, none of those other coaches were thinking about the 4 years, but they weren't thinking about what happened to me afterwards. So I'm thinking, I'm going there. What a beautiful decision that was, because lo and behold, I went to Oklahoma. I went all through college, and we never lost a game.
Well, what was that like? I mean, that was the day when Bud Wilkinson's teams were far and away better than anything you see nowadays.
We won 10 games my sophomore year, 10 games my junior year, 10 games my senior year. I made All-American at halfback. That was the halfback position. And we even played Notre Dame. We beat Notre Dame 40-0. Paul Horning was even on that team.
Who was the coach? Was it Eric Parsecan back then?
I'm not sure who it was.
Or Leahy, one of them?
Leahy, probably.
I'll tell you what, you have good hands. You've talked about that. I saw a picture on the internet of you when you got inducted in the Hall of Fame. It looked like the head came off your bust. Did you catch it or did it go to the ground? Did your good hands come in handy that day?
Yeah, no, I caught it. Everybody almost fainted. And in fact, that thing was a lot heavier than I thought it was because I threw it up in the air.
Why did you throw it up in the air? It's not a football.
He's a receiver. What do you want him to do?
Well, they put me on the front cover of Sports Illustrated having football's best hands, so I thought I better prove to people that I did have the best hands. So I wanted to prove it. In fact, I can't get over me even getting in the Hall of Fame because, with me only being 5'9" and everything, who would want me in the Hall of Fame or anything like that? But God bless me with good hands and speed and everything like that. Because nowadays, if somebody takes a look at you, you're only 5'9", they don't even want to give you a scholarship to college. They'll say, oh, you're too little, you're too small. You got to be 6'2" or 6'1" or something like that. But lo and behold, I was able to do that. And with Oklahoma, with me being there, the Eagles drafted me, and I came up here to the Eagles, and a receiver broke his arm my rookie year, 1957, in the very first game, and they put me out there to see how I could do, and I scored 2 touchdowns. So they said, Tommy, your halfback days are over with. You're going to be a receiver from now on. So that was really great, and lo and behold, God has just let me be in the right place at the right time. I'm very big on God because He's my quarterback every day. Every day's game day in life. You're either on God's team or the devil's team.
That's what Chuck Bernard says. He goes to church every day. But you know what? I think he's got a couple screws loose because he wants Kathy Lee Gifford's head. He said she called him a pasta head for what he did to Frank Gifford back in the day when he hurt him during a game, put him out of the league. And he goes, I'm not even Italian. I want her head. I want to push her. Is he nuts?
Well, hey, I'll tell you one thing. I wouldn't want to be hit by number 60, old Chuck Bednarik myself. He's just something else, that guy is. But the good Lord has just let me be in the right place at the right time because I got out, like I say, I got out of Roy, New Mexico, over to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I got out of this publicity and because Hugh Hackett was the coach over there, and he was in a single wing defense, and with my speed and everything like that, that was just really great for me. So I got all these about 5 scholarships offered to me from colleges and stuff like that: SMU, TCU, Texas, and Oklahoma, and Colorado. So
you know what? The Eagles could use you now. They've got all these speed receivers. You'd fit right in with Deshaun Jackson, Macklin. What do you think about that?
What? You just gave me an idea. I'm going to make a comeback.
All right.
No, I'm a little old. I'm 76 now.
What do you think of the current Eagles?
Oh, they're fantastic. I love Vick as a quarterback. I would love to be playing as Vick. I have 2 great quarterbacks, Jurgensen and Van Brocklin. Are you kidding me? Wow. You talk about the timing. It was really great being there with them and all that sort of jazz. But we won the 1960 championship and everything against Green Bay, Vince Lombardi, Bart Starr and all those guys.
But what do you think about Michael Vick? I mean, he had the whole controversy with the dogs and everything. Now they got to choose between Vick and Kolb as their quarterback. What would you do if you were running the Eagles?
Oh, I'd take Vick. Hey, everybody makes a mistake in life. Nobody's perfect. I mean, Vick made a mistake. So nobody's perfect. But I would take Vick, and I'm telling you, I would love to be playing with him today because he is a good little quarterback. He really is.
But what makes him so good? Is it his arm strength? Is it his speed? Or could he do everything?
His ambition, his desire. That's what makes him so good. And I just really root for him. I really do. I would love to be on the team with him. In fact, come to think of it, I may make a comeback since you've been talking to me.
Well, the shoveling will get you in shape.
Yeah, right. Hey, I'm in shape. I'm only 176 pounds or anything like that and all that sort of jazz. But, hey, and I tell you, Mike Ditka, I love that guy. I would love to be on his team. I would love for him to be able to coach me. Jiminy Christmas, what a desire that guy has. And I'm so glad he got into the Hall of Fame, too. In fact, he even beat me in the Hall of Fame. He got in 1988. He beat me by 10 years, 1998.
But wait, your stats were incredible for that time. You retired with 8,400 yards,
Look at all the
80-some touchdowns. I mean, you did it all.
Oh, well, I know, but
Ditka got it because of his coaching with the Bears.
There's one good thing that God gave me, and that was good judgment of catching the ball and stuff like that and everything like that. And then he made me smart and made me squeeze clay and stuff like that to make my hands strong and everything like that. So that's what really helped me, and that's why Sports Illustrated put me on the front cover of Sports Illustrated.
I thought it was for your looks. I thought you were in the swimsuit edition.
Okay. Now, if you're so smart, how come you're the last non-kicker to play in the NFL without a face mask?
Because I didn't want that bar to be in front of my face for my eyes and stuff. I wanted to be able to see very clear of when that ball was coming into my hands and everything like that. But I played 7 years for the Eagles, and then I got traded to the Dallas Cowboys, and that wasn't really good. So they didn't really throw the ball an awful lot, even though they had Don Meredith there. And so I told Landry after the season was over, says, Coach, I'm out of here because you run the ball all the time. I'm a receiver. I want to be involved a little bit in the game. I'd like to have 1 or 2 catches a game.
Tommy, I want to thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure talking to you. But we got to get to our next guest after the break, Sam Huff, because I'm afraid of Sam Huff. He might put a hit on me if we don't get to him.
Hey, you darn tootin' he would. Sam Huff is a super guy also. He's a great. Do tell him you were talking with me.
We will. Thank you again.
Tell him. I didn't like to play against them because I was afraid I'd get hit by him.
Thank you again, Tommy. Go back to shoveling or
don't take it. Stay inside. Don't shovel. It'll melt.
David, thank you. Thank you for letting me be on, buddy.
Thank you for coming on.